WTWO, your local election headquarters.
Thank you for joining us for our special election coverage. I'm Sadie All.
And I'm Mike Tank. In this special, you'll meet all 4 mayoral candidates for Terre Haute's upcoming election on November 5th.
I sat down with each candidate to hear their platform, what issues stand out in the community, and the direction they'd like to see the city head. Now, to be fair, we put the 4 names in a container and randomly drew the order in which we will meet the candidates.
Tonight, we'll introduce you first to Pat Goodwin. He is running as an independent. Goodwin worked with the city of Terre Haute for 10 years and was promoted to city engineer in 1999. He held that position until 2007.
Being a native to the area and watching his kids grow up in Terre Haute, he tells me it was time for him to do his part for his city. The contrast between where Terre Haute wants to be and its current reality is the reason Pat Goodwin said he wanted to take a stroll down Locust Street, just a block away from the National Road Heritage Trail.
So we have this beautiful trail that goes through this neighborhood, but we haven't reinvested in it.
It's reinvestment in Terre Haute's assets that Goodwin believes could give the city its edge. He mentions Laverne Gibson cross-country course, known as the best in the country, Griffin Bike Park, the best mountain bike park in the state, the Wabash Riverfront, waiting to be developed.
But we don't seem to market ourselves that way, that we're a great place for outdoor recreation. Why shouldn't we? Why aren't we?
Goodwin says that's been one of Terre Haute's challenges.
Employers expect quality of life for their employees. If they don't see that quality of life, they simply won't locate here.
He says creating that environment includes clean and paved streets and sidewalks, eliminating blighted homes, investing in our schools, and giving people healthy things to do. He says that was the idea behind the National Road Heritage Trail, which was built while he was city engineer.
We can be expanding this trail network. I would like for people to be able to get around town without having to get into a car.
But the trail needs updates along with city streets.
I'm an engineer. It's simply a matter of knowing what things cost and knowing how long things last. And the bottom line is, if we aren't spending $4 or $5 million a year on streets and sidewalks, we're falling behind. And what we've seen over the last decade is we've only spent about half that.
In Goodwin's opinion, revenue from a casino could assist, and he says would have to, considering the amount of traffic.
I think we need to be focusing right now on how we're going to use that money so that we use it wisely. What we don't want is to have it just dropped into the general funds of the city and county where we're not sure whatever happened to it.
He also says the city's role in a possible casino proposal could really benefit the community.
That can be things like improved streets. It can be things like a fire station in the southeast part of the city.
Making sure the community is on the same page brings up another pressing topic in this election: more room for transparency in city government.
That's an easy one, right? Of course, I do think we need better transparency. Also, we need better cooperation. The whole jail issue has really brought this to the forefront. County and city leaders need to be meeting regularly.
As far as how important this election is, Goodwin says it's crucial. That right now the city is in a process of transforming local government.
What we've been doing has not been working. So, if we elect the same people, things will continue to go on the way they have. I don't think that's in the best interest of our community.
Goodwin says he'd like to see the city focus on growing small businesses and startups.
He says city finances are a challenge and that Terre Haute needs to make correcting short-term debt a priority. He says once city finances are in order, the city then needs to shift financial priorities, putting more toward quality of life.
All candidates are interested in potential casino revenue. That bill was passed and signed by Governor Holcomb in May to make way for a Vigo County casino. Now, to break down exactly how the cash flow would work, I talked with Senator John Ford, who co-authored the casino bill.
He expects upwards of $10 million in casino revenue to come to the county each year. The company that builds a casino has to spend $100 million in construction. 35% of that has to go toward non-gaming entities at the casino. But 3% of the casino gross revenue will go toward the community. Ford says the tax breaks down in the bill, with 40% going to the city, 30% to the county, 15% to schools, which will collect in a general fund, and 15% to the West Central 2025.
There will be an additional gaming tax and that would go, into the general funds for them to decide. But then there'll be a local agreement, and what the bill says is that the commissioners would negotiate that deal.
Ford says an additional gaming tax of 25% of gross revenue generated from the casino will come to the community. That's on top of the local agreement that commissioners will decide how to use. Ford says there's talk of forming a local committee to assist commissioners in their decision. He says it's important that money is put in a fund that's flexible so many community leaders can apply for funds. Now, Ford mentioned some of that money will go toward West Central 2025. That's an initiative that combines Vigo, Sullivan, Park, Vermilion, Putnam, and Clay counties and hopes to increase population and quality of life.
Another portion of casino revenue will help out Vigo County schools. We learned over the summer after Superintendent Rob Hayworth took over the administration that spending for the corporation has been in a deficit since 2016. He proposed an increase in property tax to generate $7 million a year. That tax would stay in place for 8 years. That will go toward health, wellness, transportation, and staffing. All property owners, renters, and people with fixed incomes would contribute. There would also be a gradual $4 million in cuts to the operational budget over the next 2 years.
This is a part of 2 referendums on the November ballot, the Casino and Vigo County School Corporation property tax increase. Community members have formed PACs, or political action committees, for both topics. The West Central Indiana PAC launched its Casino Terre Haute website and fundraising efforts in July. People can sign up for yard signs, register to volunteer, or donate to campaign efforts. There's also a website for the Vigo County School Corporation referendum. Their website is yesforvigostudents.com. There you can view a calculator to determine how much the property tax increase would impact you. Superintendent says any yard signs or mail regarding the referendum will be paid for by donations to the PAC.
Since September, 18 community meetings have been scheduled so the public can hear from the school corporation about the referendum. Each meeting is scheduled at a different Vigo County school. Here is a list of the rest of the meetings through mid-October. They start at 6:30 p.m. until 8. We still have much ahead in this newscast.
Next up, we talk with candidate Karam Nasser and talk more about recent taxes.